Hey guys, it's Vader 2005 here, and we're going to make an exit sign video here, exit sign emergency light video, where I'm going to go around the house and show my exit signs and emergency light setup, and I'm going to do an elevator parts tour as well. So I'm making like two videos in one video, kind of budge two things together in one video. So like in my workspace here, or my study area, where me and my tutor work in, or my area where I do my schoolwork and stuff, we got a Lithonia Elm2 second generation emergency light. I think it's a third generation, I believe, which consists of an oval body with round lights. This is my movie theater in my bedroom here. It's a movie theater because of the chairs, but there's no emergency light in here. But in my dad's bedroom, in his office, here's this pretty generic combo. I mean, this generic emergency light. These are pretty much just everywhere in any building, either these or the LED versions. Like if they would just stick these in if they can't like afford Sure Lights or Lithonia units. They would just they used to have these at like batteries and bulbs. So these are just pretty generic, unbranded emergency light. And then we venture on into the playroom right here, which, even though I am 20 years old, I still love kids stuff. I still love going to a children's museum, but just have a cow, I have some building blocks here. But in the playroom, we have this green generic combo here, which this room is basically my children's museum. But in this room, in the children's museum room, we have this green generic combo in the playroom. It's just these emergency lights that's also on the standalone emergency lights that's in my dad's office. Sorry, my dad's giving me medication.
That's actually magnesium. Tolerate. So
then we can continue with the video. And then in the dining room, we have a Lithonia Elm2 second generation. These were made like prior to the ones that have the oval body and the round lights. These are pretty legacy units, are pretty nostalgic. Then if we go in here, we basically got a code violation because we have an Amazon box in front of an exit sign. So we move the Amazon box. We have the same combo unit, this generic, the same one that's like in the playroom, but it's red. It has red letters. And one of the emergency lamps are broke. That's how it came in the shipping. But that is it. So reasons I like the older incandescent emergency lights, because I believe the LED emergency lights that are made nowadays are just, I don't like them. They're just pretty boring. That's why I prefer the older legacy incandescent emergency lights. So now I'm gonna do an elevator parts video too. So I'm again budging in two videos in one. Here we have an Otis Series 2 call button. The buttons are almost spongy because this is the older Series 2 call button. They make the newer Series 2 buttons that are a little more firm, but the older Series 2 have the more spongier touch to them. And then we have the predecessor right here. This came before this. We have the Otis Series 1, the early Series 1, so this was made before this. So it was the first, in the very beginning, it was Otis Lexan, and then the Series 1, and then the Series 2 with spongy buttons, and then the Series 2, Series 4 with the more firm buttons. Then we have, this is pretty heavy, so I might put the camera down. I don't want to drop this on my toe. If it drops on my toe, it would probably be an emergency room visit. But we have a Otis Series 2 or M2 hall lantern with the indicator combined. The Series 1 does have a variant of this that has these kind of housings, but the same indicator placements. You can just get them a standalone hall lantern or a standalone floor indicator, or a lantern accompanied with the floor indicator. And then we have a Thyssenkrup button. These came from the Safety Club packet from Thyssenkrup. And then we just have a phone door. This for a Thyssenkrup Dover elevator. These phone doors aren't from the Impulse ones. They're from the vandal resistant Dovers or from the Dover Classics. Actually, this phone door came off of this COP. I just wanted to take some parts off of it. But we have a Dover Classic panel that came from an elevator modernization. This actually came out of the freight elevator at Crabtree Valley Mall here in Raleigh, because Raleigh is my hometown. This came from Crabtree Valley Mall from the freight elevator that goes up to the Cheesecake Factory. And the buttons are kind of firm, but these are, I think Dover has some older buttons that are kind of, nice and loose like this, and they may start making more firm buttons too. So yeah, that is my elevator parts tour and emergency light setup.